Greetings, friends, spiritual seekers, mystics, friends of God, those seeking freedom from institutionalized religions, or part of the spiritual resistance, if you will, those contemplative souls and satsangis, initiates on the path, on this path of the Masters. 7 stages of mystic ascension to heaven, according to the teachings of Sant, the path of the Masters, or that can also be translated as the way of the saints. And I begin by sharing some mystic poems that best define this path of the Masters. Mystic verses of poetry from Rumi, Kabir, Jesus, Tulsi Sahib, Dadu Dayal, Charandas, and Dariya Sahib of Bihar. Thus, in about 20 minutes or so, you'll get a lot of teachings all at once, describing this path of the Masters, this perennial philosophy of the ages, the way of inner love, light, and sound. I begin with Rumi, mystic verses of Jalaluddin Rumi, the king of the Sufi poet mystics. I tried to find him on the Christian cross, but he was not there. I went to the temple of the Hindus and to the old pagodas, but I could not find a trace of him anywhere. I searched on the mountains and in the valleys, but neither in the heights nor in the depths was I able to find him. I went to the Kaaba in Mecca, but he was not there either. I questioned the scholars and philosophers, but he was beyond their understanding. Then I looked into my heart, and it was there, where he dwelled, that I saw him. He was nowhere else to be found, says Rumi. Popular and powerful mystic verses from Rumi, as they help to define this path of the Masters. How that the mystic path is not about being satisfied by stories from the past, rites and rituals, fasting and austerities, buildings and institutions, or prophecies about great stuff happening in the sky, in the by and by, someday, or at the end of time. But rather about us, going within for ourselves, having our own direct experience of the divine, here and now, in this present moment. I included Jesus or Yeshua on my list of mystic poets, and you might think to yourself, what could that possibly be? Well, actually, the Odes of Solomon, a collection of early Christian hymns, has some beautiful verses. But I'm using the Gospel of Thomas, the Lynn Bauman translation, the Gospel of Thomas, Wisdom of the Twin, Yeshua, Saying 3 of a collection of the sayings of Jesus, known as the Gospel of Thomas, once popular in Syriac Christianity, around Mesopotamia, Syria, and the Persian Gulf. If your spiritual guides say to you, "Look, the divine realm is in the sky," then the birds will get there ahead of you. If they say, "It is in the sea," then the fish will precede you. No, divine reality exists inside and all around you. Only when you have come to know your true self will you be fully known, realizing at last that you are a child of the living one. If, however, you never come to know who you truly are, you are a poverty-stricken being, and it is yourself which lies impoverished. Robert Bly's versions of Kabir poems are quite powerful and remain so after all of these years since the Kabir book was first published by Beacon Press. I laugh when I hear that the fish in the water is thirsty. You don't grasp the fact that what is most alive of all is inside your own house. And you walk from one holy city to the next with a confused look. Kabir will tell you the truth. Go wherever you like, to Calcutta or Tibet. If you can't find where your soul is hidden, for you the world will never be real. More Kingdom of God within you mystic verses. This is also from Kabir. The small ruby everyone wants has fallen out on the road. Some think it is east of us, others west of us. Some say among the primitive earth rocks, others in the deep waters. Kabir's instinct told him it was inside, and what it was worth, and he wrapped it up carefully in his heart cloth, the mantle of his heart. Seek to see him, liberation during this life, a mystic poem of Sant Tulsi Sahib of Hathras, India. In this life, the concept of salvation all describe. To meet the Lord by dying while living, none discloses. They all speak of the goal of salvation after death. How to attain it while living, no one says. Were they to reveal the method of attaining release while living, then alone would Tulsi be convinced of their words. Who speak after seeing with their own eyes, and teach the method of salvation during life, are of the stage and stature of saints, for they reveal the quintessence of the soul. More from Sant Tulsi Sahib, within this body. Within this body breathes the secret essence. Within this body beats the heart of the Vedas, the Hindu scriptures. Within this body shines the entire universe, so the saints reveal. Hermits, ascetics, celibates, all are lost, seeking him in endless guises. Seers and sages perfectly parrot the scriptures and holy books, blinded by intellect. Their pilgrimage and fasting and striving but delude. Despite their perfect practice, they discover no destination. Only the saints who know the body's heart have attained the ultimate, O Tulsi, Realize this, and you found your freedom, while teachers trapped in tradition know only the mirage in the mirror. The following is a bhajan of Sant Dariya Sahib of Bihar. And these verses, which are composed by Sant Dariya, take on a kind of divine cosmic voice that, according to some, is actually Kabir. Some believe that Sant Dariya Sahib of Bihar represents the second incarnation, or reincarnation, you might say, of Guru Kabir during this Kali Yuga age. Sant Dariya Sahib. Sat Purush is the living Lord, and his own son serves as the ladder. That ladder is continued through me, says Dariya. Fakardas, Bastidas, and Gunadas are the ladders proceeding from me. Whomsoever they appoint as their spiritual successors would also be known as ladders. Thus will my line of succession continue. Those souls who remain in obedience to these successors shall cross the ocean of this world, samsara. How long will this line of succession, this spiritual path of Sant Mat, continue? Kindly relate it to us in your own words, asks a disciple of Dariya. Listen mindfully. I explain this to you, says Dariya. As long as the discipline of the sound current, the meditation of the sound current, is preserved unadulterated, the line of succession will truly continue. But when it is mixed with outer rituals and display of external garbs, my sound current will part company. My divine essence will depart, and the souls will go into the mouth of Kal. I shall then come to this world, and shall proclaim the teaching of the sound current again. Proclaiming the teaching, I shall found the line of succession, and emancipating the souls, I shall take them to my abode. For eons I have been coming and imparting the teaching of the true sound current. Sant Dariya Sahib of Bihar. And the souls will go into the mouth of Kal. That is a phrase, mouth of Kal, that's used in India to refer to souls or a community of souls drifting away from the path, losing the truth, moving away, forgetting the mystic teachings, including, of course, Surat Shabd Yoga, inner sound meditation. When the sound practice is forgotten, when statues, rites, and rituals take over, when all of these external rituals dominate and the mystic path is lost, that's another way of saying the souls are going into the mouth of Kal, being bewitched by illusion and Maya, forgetting the truth, losing the truth, falling into rites and rituals and false teachings. And since Dariya Sahib sounded so much like the reincarnation of Kabir, saying, when the path goes south, I shall return and start the path again, and have another spiritual successor who will in turn appoint another living master, and so it goes to reboot the path in Kali Yuga. This is a verse of some verses of Guru Kabir, this time from Songs of Kabir, culled, arranged, brought together by Rabindranath Tagore, who himself was a great Bengali poet mystic. The soul's return to the ocean of love. Says Kabir, how could the love between thee and me sever? As the leaf of the lotus abides on the water, so thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. As the night bird gazes all night at the moon, so thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. From the beginning until the ending of time, there is love between thee and me. And how shall such love be extinguished, says Kabir, as the river enters into the ocean, so my heart touches thee. Mystic verses of Sants Charandas from the Sri Bhakti Sagar, the ocean of devotion, the ocean of love. The night is spent calling out for the beloved, and the night in the beloved's contemplation. The one who yearns for the Lord easily attains union and understanding through devotion. Separated from the Lord, she is yearning for him. She has no friend besides him. Every moment, day and night, she is ever focused on meeting her beloved. It is the name of the beloved she repeats. It is the beloved she contemplates. The beloved is her very life, and she too is as precious to her beloved. The mystic poetry of Sant Charandas has become my favorite as of late. I'll probably dedicate some programs to the mystic verses of Charandas, another great sant in the classic sant tradition of India. Mystic verses of Sant Tulsi Sahib of Hathras, the Adi Guru, the founding Guru, the master of the masters, the great grandfather of modern-day Sant Mat. Wake, O traveler, wherefore dost thou sleep? The night is already ended. Whosoever sleeps loses all. Whosoever wakes is blessed with great good fortune. One who has forgotten the master and the secret of his primal home, he struts about in the world, unfortunate that he is. Worldly attachments hold him fast in their grip. Know thou the essence of human birth, and lose not this golden opportunity. Break all thy shackles and get deliverance from the ceaseless cycle of birth and death. Swim across this turbulent ocean, O Tulsi. Whosoever has concentrated his soul has been freed from the fear of death. She, the soul, has ascended the firmament with force and has found refuge at the feet of the Lord. She has taken abode in the infinite region and has attained union with the Beloved. Concentrated his soul, that of course is what the word surat means, the attention faculty of the soul, as in surat shabd yoga or surat shabad yoga. The soul focusing upon the inner light and sound of the positive power, the Supreme Being, becoming one with it, merging into it, becoming yoked to it, the yoga of inner light and sound, Surat Shabd Yoga, ascending the heavens or firmament and entering into the abode of the Beloved, known as Sachkhand or Sat Lok, the ocean of love, the spiritual region. Whose soul is attached to the Word revels ever in cosmic flight. Whose soul is attached to the Word revels ever in cosmic flight. Revels ever in cosmic flight. And realizing the Lord plays with him. The mystery of the inaccessible and the secret of the Scriptures he unravels. He reaches his home within, and its essence he comes to know. In the lotus feet of the Beloved, he sees his true destination. The happily married woman rejoices with her spouse every moment, O Tulsi, for her soul is attached to the Word and revels ever in cosmic flight. Great soul travel poem of Sant Tulsi Sahib. And the final poem today is from Sant Dadu Dayal of Rajasthan, his mystic poem describing the Sant Mat vision of a spiritual life to be pursued during our time here on planet Earth. Recognize the path to your Beloved, O travelers, and take the route of the anguished lover in separation. Keep the Master's grace in your thoughts and reflect on his pure teachings. Develop love and devotion with endearment, and keep the thought of the Creator always before you. Try to merge yourself into God like water in water. Fix your mind within by following the path of the sound current. A yearning will arise. Make then an intense and anguished call. Repeat the name of your Beloved day and night, again and again, with care in thought, word, and deed. And you will cross to the other shore. The 7 stages of mystic ascension to heaven according to Sant Mat and according to the teachings of Swami Sant Sevi Ji Maharaj. 1. Praise or bhakti, the singing praises, the singing of hymns, banis, they're sometimes called bhajans, kirtans, odes, or psalms. the singing of hymns. Now, those in the West that don't know these hymns can read these great mystic poems like I've been sharing today from Sants Charandas, Dadu Dayal, Tulsi Sahib, just reciting the words, in other words. That has some spiritual merit as well, and is a good devotional exercise to prepare one for meditation as part of one's own daily satsang at home. Bhakti, or praise, is the first stage. Another thing that you can do, if you don't know the words and the melodies of these hymns, you can just do mantra singing or chanting various names of God that you've seen in the teachings of the masters. You can just chant those out loud for a while, various names. There are many. Hu and Radhaswami and Anami and Satpurush and so on, Ram, Satya Ram. Many are the names of the beloved. You can chant names as a substitute for the singing of hymns if you don't know the words or melodies of traditional Indian hymns, and probably not many in the West would. The first stage of mystic ascension to heaven, praise or bhakti, the devotional singing of banis, bhajans, kirtans, odes, psalms, hymns. Number 2, prayer, communion with God, conversations with God. There are many examples in the teachings of the Sants of conversational prayers with God, walking with God in the cool of the day. Just any sort of spontaneous conversational prayer is absolutely wonderful. 3, Manas Jap, sometimes referred to as Simran, the mental repetition of various names of God or a special name of God, a sacred name, a mantra mentally repeated with the tongue of thought within your mind, a mental chant of names of God, Simran of the names. And this, of course, is also the first stage of meditation practice, according to Sant Mat and Surit Shabd Yoga. Number 4, Manas Dhyana, the visualization of the form of the Master. Very simple, short and simple. One thinks of their living Master, thinks of their form as the second stage of meditation. And this is done typically while the repetition of names continues mentally within oneself. 5, Dristi Sadhana, the art of seeing, inner light at the third eye center, contemplating the inner light, the light from beyond the darkness. Light or various lights are inner visions. And this is the third stage of meditation. Number 6, the sixth stage, Nada Sadhana, also known as Surit Shabd Yoga, or hearing inner sounds, transcendental hearing, hearing the sound that comes from beyond the silence, the inner sound, the audible life stream. And this is known as the fourth stage of meditation. First stage, Manas Jap or Simran. The second stage, Manas Dhyan, visualizing the form of one's teacher. The third, Dristi Sadhana, inner seeing, reaching the inner light at the third eye center. And the fourth is Nada Sadhana or Surit Shabd Yoga Sadhana, inner sound meditation practice. Those are the stages of meditation. And the seventh stage of mystic ascension to heaven, where this all leads to, the final stage, is reaching Kaivalya, oneness with the soundless one, oneness with the nameless one who has been given many names, the Anami or nameless one, called by many sacred names, the formless supreme being, the supreme state, the ocean of love beyond all forms, lights, and sounds. And this is the fifth stage of meditation, you might say, the isht, the goal of the practice of meditation. Oneness with the beloved, merging into God. The drop returning to the ocean of love. Oneness with God at the level of Sat Lok or Sachkhand, the timeless state, beyond time, beyond form, beyond the lights and sounds, beyond the lower planes. The soul returning home again to the abode of the beloved. And briefly reviewing these once again, the 7 stages of mystic ascension to heaven according to Sant Mat, based on the teachings of Swami Sant Seviji Maharaj in the Sant Mat chapter of his great book, Harmony of All Religions. 1, praise or bhakti, the singing of hymns. 2, prayer, communion with God or conversations with God. 3, manas jap, also known as simran or zikr, the repetition of God's names, various names of God, or the guru mantra, the names you were given at the time of initiation. 4, manas dhyana, visualizing the form of the master. 5, dristi sadhana, seeing the inner light at the third eye center. 6, nada sadhana. Nada is a name like Shabda, referring to the cosmic sound, the divine sound. Hearing the inner sounds. And this is also called Surit Shabd Yoga, meditation of the inner sound. And 7, reaching Kavalya, oneness with the God who is beyond sound, the God who is beyond light, sometimes called the soundless one, or nameless one, or Anami Parush, Satya Ram, the formless Supreme Being, the Supreme State, Radhaswami reality, the ultimate reality, Anurag Sagar, ocean of love, beyond all forms, lights, and sounds. And that is the goal of this practice, returning to the abode of the beloved. In the highest of heavens, the Most High, is the goal of the contemplative meditation practice of Sant Mat. Thanks for joining me today.